MLS Aces Podcast. This is your host, Tom Sweezy, and this is episode 265. We are back. I said that out of order, but it's fine. Jason Bevang is here. Sam Nelson is here. Jason has a beautiful new background in his brand new apartment. Jason, how is Chicago? How are you since we've last recorded and since people have last heard your voice?
I'm good. Yeah, I think we should have used my intro. I felt like that was pretty good. But I see what 265. We've done this a lot of times. You'd think we would have had it down by now.
You would think. A nice 2.5 month break really kind of fucks you up.
Like just your brain gets all jumbled. Messi's now playing in MLS. What is going on?
We're the best league in the
world. Wait, what happened?
And the other voice, if you're listening podcast wise, is Sam Nelson. Sam, how are you since last time the folks have heard you?
Hey, good. Started a new job. Just
so did I.
Now. Yeah, see, it's been a summer change for the boys.
Literally, like you guys are just changing. I'm just sitting here. I've got nothing different going on, so I'm proud of you guys. No,
I tried.
I got nothing over here. But we are back. We have been away for a little bit. I'm gonna mainly 99% blame myself and not pushing any type of recording, and a lot has happened since we last recorded. Like Jason said, Messi is arrived, or as Sam said before, Messi has came. He is playing soccer. He has not played an MLS game yet, but he has played MLS opponents. The U.S. women's national team crashed out of a World Cup. That was not fun. USMNT players are transferring all over Europe. MLS transfer window is wild outside of Inter Miami, and a lot more. So I think pretty much in order to catch up, let's just dive into it. But first and foremost, it wouldn't be an episode of the MLS Aces podcast if I didn't try to do something new and kind of dumb. So I do have a game for you guys. I did give you guys the heads up beforehand that I did have an idea for a game. I just didn't tell you what the game was. So a few months back, I don't know if you guys remember that. I think it was I can't remember the name of the show, but the two English guys, Men in Blazers, whatever. I don't really like them, but I did like the video that they did where they sat down with Tim Ream, Anthony Robinson, Tyler Adams, and Weston McKennie, and they went back and forth to see if they could name Americans in the Premier League. Did you guys see that video?
I didn't see that video, but I hear what you're saying.
So there is going to be a 2-minute timer. It is going to start with one of you. We can do Jason since you showed up to the recording first. It's going to start with Jason. 2-minute timer to see who can get the most current
Americans. I'm good under pressure. Wait, current
Americans playing in a Big Five league. So just to clarify, Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga, Ligue 1, and the Serie A. We're going to go back and forth.
Okay.
So I'm going to.
So we're on the same team here. We're trying to get them together.
So we're just going to name the U.S. men's national team.
There's not always, Sam.
Wait,
I'm confused. How are we competing?
Yeah, how is that? If I take Pulisic or something, and then he takes Musah, and then I take McKennie, and then he takes.
If Sam freezes
I feel like he's just stealing all of the answers now.
If Sam freezes up and he can't answer, and you got a
potential steal opportunity.
So I'm only going to give a few seconds for you to answer. You have about 3 to 4 or 5 seconds, and I'll tell you when it's going to go to the other person.
I'm going to freeze up.
I was going to say the pressure.
Well, Jason, it's starting with you in 3, 2, 1. Go.
Pulisic.
Yep.
Weah.
Yep.
McKennie.
Yep.
Adams.
Yep.
Musah.
Yep.
Matt Turner.
There you go.
Dest.
No. Sam.
Shit, that's right.
Oh, fuck. I forgot.
You got a few seconds.
That's the worst timing.
Wow. I'm shook.
Say one. I could go.
Know.
2, 1.
I'm just shook.
Jason.
No, Jason's back at it now.
Is it Slonina still at Chelsea?
No.
Oh.
Sam.
They're horrible.
Is Zach Steffen still technically at City?
Yes, he is. Jason.
What? Balogun?
Yes, Sam.
We're horrible at this.
I was gonna say
1 minute
I'm trying
left.
Aronson.
Yes.
Oh, what
Jason.
a call out! I like that. That would have gone way over my head.
3, 2,
You can
1.
Fuck, I can't think of anyone.
Pfock.
Yup.
Oh, that was a good call.
Jason.
Reina.
Yes, Sam.
God, I can't wait. We didn't think of
That's
Reina.
right. We just skipped over him. Oh, Robinson.
Yes, Jason.
Tim Ream.
Yes, Sam.
Damn, I was hoping he wouldn't go there next.
I thought of those like way before.
Right.
Too. I don't know.
Let's see. Is there anyone else that
Someone is listening to this just
Two.
screaming at us.
One.
Yeah, I don't got it. I don't got it.
For the tie.
For the tie. Oh,
3. You got 5 seconds. Sam, I'll give you one more opportunity
That's
if
fine.
Jason can't. But Jason, for the tie.
Georgie. He's not in the top 5.
No, he is not. Sam, do you want to go for one more just to rub it in Jason's face?
No, I'm trying to think. Who's in France? Who's playing in France right now?
So I'll list off some players you guys didn't name. Ethan Horvath,
Shit.
Joe Scally, Austin Trusty, Chris Richards, Kevin Paredes, John Anthony Brooks, Luca De La Torre. You got one Aronson. You didn't guess the other.
I thought about saying.
Oh
too.
shit.
Let's see. Caden Clark, technically on a Bundesliga
Technically.
roster. Timothy Chandler, still technically on a Bundesliga roster.
Is he still Frankfurt still? Wow.
Emmanuel Sabi, the winger, is on Le Havre
in France.
And, he's the only American player in France. And then there is a defensive midfielder named Maloney on a Bundesliga team that just got promoted from the 2 Bundesliga. So,
yeah, I definitely had that one coming in the.
I mean,
Maloney.
if you guys got some of the obscure ones, I would have been proud. But Sam, you won 7-6, 2 minutes.
Damn, I thought Zach Steffen was loaned out again.
And you went Dest too. You really just
Dude,
messed
that
up.
was poor timing.
That was literally like yesterday, wasn't
I
it?
know.
Honestly,
That sucks.
if we recorded yesterday, you would have got it. So there was 25 players. We have 25 Americans playing in technically the big 5 leagues in Europe. You guys got 13 of them, so more than half. That's
not bad.
Not bad in 2 minutes. I'm proud.
Technically more than half.
I'm proud. I'm proud. All right, so that was my way of just bringing a little bit of fun.
I feel like we just start with the transfer stuff then.
I mean, I'm for it. I'm about it. And Sam, since you won, I want you to have a game next week. So start thinking.
Thank God you won.
Rafty or Drafty Part 2.
No, that was a good. That was a
a
game.
great
I'll take
game.
that.
Rafty or Drafty.
I can definitely come up with a new one.
Let's dive into some transfers. Let's start with some USMNT transfers. If you guys are good with that, since we're already on the USMNT, I guess brainwaves there. I guess, Sam, since you won, is there a USMNT transfer from this past window that is still technically going on in Europe that you're excited most about, you have questions most about, you hate? Give me anything you got there.
Oh, dude, I've got, like, right now, I've just got 2 teams that I'm, like, rooting for with like PSV or AC Milan. Like, those 2 teams now, it's like, man, this is American Central, and I love it.
So just to let the listeners know, if you don't know for whatever reason, PSV and the Eredivisie have acquired Ricardo Pepi, striker. They also got Malik Tillman on loan from Bayern Munich and Serginho Dest on loan from Barcelona. So
literally 12 hours ago.
I mean, hey, get up to date, Jason.
It's funny because I knew that happened too, and I'm just an idiot. So
he was on the bench today in the Champions League qualifier.
There you go. He's already in a game. I have to count.
Oh wait, no, he played 80 minutes today. So I'm sorry, Jason. That one's tough.
Oh, so it's worse.
80 minutes of left back. I was checking.
Ernie Stewart, former Philadelphia Union general manager, I'm pretty sure he's the sporting director over at PSV. So he's like Give me all the Americans right now. And Sam, also to your point, obviously, I think probably the biggest two moves for an American player this window, Christian Pulisic and Yunus Musah going to AC Milan. Pulisic already scoring in his official debut for AC Milan. So you got to love to see it that, I think we went from a pretty bad period last season of Americans in Europe. I don't think it was a great season last year overall for Americans in Europe.
The year before was so good.
It was like really good 2 years ago. Last year bad. Now I'm hoping we get a little bit of good this window.
As long as nobody's on Chelsea, so Balogun, please don't go.
That Tyler Adams got out of that real quick.
Thank God.
Wait, real quick, we were all in agreement that should not have happened, right?
Yeah. 100%.
That would have been a horrible move.
Anything involving Chelsea is horrible.
Chelsea, he would have still never played a fucking game. It would have been a waste of time.
Literally, he would have just, even if Caicedo's move, it went through, right? He still would have just backed up Caicedo. Like Adams wasn't going to play, so that's fine.
Caicedo was horrible, and I'm not saying that as a Liverpool fan.
Just like Sam hates Harry Kane right now, but
I do.
Also to talk about, just really quick, a star we just mentioned it. Tyler Adams did not go to Chelsea from Leeds United in the Championship. He did sign with Bournemouth, who was they're officially my European.
That's just a better team. They've been your team for so long.
They're like 5 years, dude.
I like
you
them.
Liked them when they went back to the Championship and came back up, but
I just I'm more emotionally connected to NYCFC than I am Bournemouth. Like if Bournemouth it's not going to ruin my day. So that's where I battle. Am I a?
You've had a decent amount of days brewed, huh?
Yeah. Well,
it's okay. Same with me.
Lockdown D mid Tyler Adams went to Bournemouth. Jason, is there a move or moves or I like the route Sam?
I really like the move for Matt Turner, just to stay in the Premier League and also get a lot of time. I think Arsenal was obviously a major dream of his, and that was really cool to see that he got to live that and be there. But in reality, he was never getting time for them. Maybe in a cup game or something that they don't care about. But this is way better, and it feels good to have our number one choice goalkeeper actually playing, because it seems like a lot of the time that just hasn't happened in Europe for our keepers, and I don't know, feel like since Tim Howard practically.
Since Tim Howard and Brad Guzan were probably the last two.
So it's just cool to see. He's in the Premier League. It's the same competition as if he was at Arsenal. He's just going to be playing 90 minutes.
I almost feel like Matt Turner kind of learned from Zach Steffen in the sense of Steffen was the number one goalkeeper for the U.S. for so long because he was just on City. Everyone used the excuses of he was training with Pep, training with the best club in the world, whatever. I think that Matt Turner was okay, I'm older than Steffen. I think Turner's 29. I made the move to Europe. I got a season behind Aaron Ramsdale, who's not going to be Ramsdale's not moving out of Arsenal's number one goalkeeper spot. So where can I go play and still play at a high level? Well, I'm going to go to Nottingham Forest, and Nottingham Forest isn't a great team, but he has looked pretty good. I think he's started 2 games for them so far.
Yeah, he's played both.
Played 3 solid halves of soccer. I think his first half for Nottingham wasn't the best, but after that, he's played some really good soccer.
Was that not versus Arsenal or something? Who did they play?
The first game was against Arsenal.
Yeah, so
it was a pretty bad half against Arsenal.
Yeah, didn't Saka hit a banger?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that was a rough game. Yeah, it's against one of the better teams. I feel like this just to see as the season goes, because he'll grow into it and he'll grow into the role. I think for him, it's just he just loves playing. It just feels like he wanted to be somewhere where he's going to get those consistent minutes.
Yeah. I think that's completely fair, and I'm happy for him, and I think it's going to be best for the U.S. too. Even if he's going to be in his, early 30s playing as
goalkeeper's career is pretty long.
I would say that's his peak. His peak's going to be 31.
If he's doing that in the Premier League at that type of level, then I think that's all you can really ask for from
hopefully they stay up, which I think they will.
Yeah, I think they should. They definitely should, but weirder things have happened, I guess. there's a lot of moves that I feel like I could pinpoint as one for the USMNT that like interest me. I'm gonna go with Florian Balogun still not playing on a roster somewhere. I mean, you're talking about
the non-move.
One, the non-move is an interesting one to me.
Sure, that's
You're right. It's definitely an interest.
Why hasn't one of the best strikers from Europe last season, one of the best young strikers in the planet, not on a roster? He's not acquired somewhere because Arsenal clearly want to sell him, and I get it, and that's fine. But Inter Milan's calling, and I think France, a bunch of clubs back in France want him back in league. I get it all. Just get this man playing on something.
They're asking $45 million for him. It's not. He's not cheap.
I don't know if it's necessarily Arsenal don't want him. I think it's they kind of do want to keep him, but they know that they can't play him.
Yeah.
And he needs to go play somewhere.
Yeah.
So I feel like in that scenario, they're trying to get as much as they can, but they don't have a lot of like bargaining power in the deal because it's like he wants to leave to go play somewhere and everyone knows it. So it needs to happen. Like if it doesn't happen, it's going to be pretty grim. Like it's going to be upsetting. But I don't know. I mean, at the very least, can't they do a loan deal or something? Do an option to buy? I don't care. But like,
do what you did last year to Rams. Loan him the league on side, have him play again. I get he probably wants the permanent move, but
he definitely wants
one
it.
Week left to figure this out.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if the Balogun move happens. I think just some other ones just to note out because I have to list things out because I'm Andrew Weeby 2.0 apparently. But Austin Trusty, he got the move to the Premier League side, Sheffield United. So Austin Trusty will be in the center back mix there in the Premier League. Haji Wright became Coventry City's all-time transferred record deal, bringing him in from the Turkish top division into the English Championship. Timothy Weah is Juan Cuadrado's replacement at Juventus, literally a like for like, and I absolutely love the comparison there. I mentioned it before during the game, but Emmanuel Sabi went to Le Havre. I butchered the shit out of that. In France, Gaga Slonina, he went to the Eredivisie, I'm pretty sure, on loan from Chelsea, and we'll talk about Chelsea goalkeepers probably in a few seconds. There's a lot of moves that Americans have gone around. I do like also Jonathan Gomez getting the loan from like the Spanish third or fourth division because technically he was with Real Sociedad B, and now he's going to be playing in the Spanish second division on loan. So I just like that we're getting Americans minutes, even if it's not at the highest level. It's a lot of young guys kind of getting moves, getting opportunities. So I'm just a fan of that there.
What do you guys, before we move on, feel about McKennie in that situation?
I don't love that pretty much Juventus was like, we want to sell this guy. We don't want him on the roster. And then like no one wanted Weston McKennie.
Yeah.
Now it's like, he's a Juventus player.
And they just keep on going. Actually, Allegri kind of likes him, and you're like, just
you hear that like once a month, and it's like, wait a second, I'm being fed lies.
Look, I'm not upset that like he has been playing so far in the short span of European season. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm upset. Like Juventus is still a big club, but I mean, I think they're on a downward spiral a little bit, but they're still a pretty big
European competition.
So it's like I'm fine with that, but I do want to see Weston like wanted somewhere because I do feel like since the beginning of 2022, Weston McKennie's stock has kind of just been slowly going down internationally and club level. So I don't love it, but it is what it is.
I don't think Leeds was the best move for him, though. Like, really, it wasn't.
No.
Once he got there, it just blew up.
Leeds blew up, and that's the problem.
Well,
Leeds blew up for everyone. So
I mean, which is why Tyler Adams had a shit
Adams is gone,
transfer and all that stuff. So yeah,
Brendan Aronson is gone right now, but he'll probably go back if they go back out. Like it's just Leeds was a bad place. Like it was cool to have a bunch of Americans. Leeds was not a good place.
Thanks, Jesse Marsh. Let's move into some into some MLS transfers. I'm going to hold you guys to one transfer each so we can move into talking about the meat and potatoes of this episode. But Jason, I'll start with you. Give me one MLS transfer, whether it was a sale, whether it was a player coming into the league, whatever it may be. And if you need more time, because I thought I saw a face of I need more time, I can stall this out as long as possible. Okay, go for it.
I kind of just want to talk about LAFC. It's not like a specific transfer, but
can I preface with I was gonna say, and Sam, just so you know, Messi's not an answer to my question.
I like this guy Shmiano Shmechi. He's really good.
So sorry, LAFC. Yes.
So they lost Opoku and Jose Cifuentes, and obviously Cifuentes is a major player for them, moving to
Rangers.
Rangers, right? Thank you. But I actually feel like this team maybe got better. Like they got deeper for sure. They brought in center back Eddie Segura, free agency, and Mamadou Fall. So, his loan ended. But those are just more depth pieces. Obviously, they still have Aaron Long, Chiellini. They have, I don't know, man. I just feel like Mario Gonzalez was the one that I was going to mention if I were to talk about one move, because I feel like 15 goals in Belgium last season is pretty solid, and coming over and playing with the system that LAFC have started to build and continued to build. I feel like I always am talking about LAFC, and I don't mean to be. I know it's Tom's team. It's his second favorite team. But yeah, whatever.
You'll have that second banner up this fall, Tom. That's cool.
But honestly, I think this team is kind of scary, and they're just quietly reloading and rebuilding into another just powerhouse that has the depth to sustain themselves. Where I feel like before this window, they were kind of a few injuries away from just being in some bad water.
So that's LAFC was a team I did want to mention. So thank you for bringing them up in the sense of I think after the Champions League, the Champions Cup now, the Champions Cup final loss, I think it was just kind of downward spiral LAFC. They were getting the Champions League curse that we see from MLS teams year in and year out. You made it to a final, you were at the top of the top, you lost, and now LAFC couldn't buy a win in MLS play. Players that normally were playing well were in, injuries were piling up, whatever it may be. I almost feel like this Leagues Cup and the distraction of a Lionel Messi is, like you said, allowed LAFC to quietly just rebuild and retool to be
and just breathe.
Yeah, literally, right? And you answer the striker issue with a Mario Gonzalez coming in. I know he can play anywhere across the front line, but the dude is an out-and-out striker. You add some young depth with, I think, a Christian Oliveira and a Felipe Krastev in the wing and in the midfield, respectively. Eddie Segura, he probably would have been re-signed in the offseason, but he was dealing with some injuries, so it's good to know that he's back and healthy. Mamadou Fall was a beast in his own right. He's going to be back. I think LAFC are just absolutely primed for a run for another MLS Cup, especially in a super weak Western Conference. So,
I mean, they're in second, right? It's not like they're having a bad season.
Yes,
they're still incredibly good in the Western Conference, which is obviously down compared to the East. I still think they could challenge St. Louis even in the second half.
Sorry, that was a burp. I didn't want to burp.
I was I should have maybe said another sentence there.
Yeah,
How did not look okay?
Jason, talk. I'm good. No, that's fine. That's good. LAFC, good. I think that we all agree on that. Sam, I'm going to go to you for your move, whether it's in or out or whatever it may be. Give me teams, I guess, if you want to, if you're going to go down that route again. But
I'll talk about the whole team, kind of how Jason was talking about LAFC, but my catalyst is going to be talking about Ian Harkes going to New England Revs. I really like this move. I think this was good for the Revs and for Ian. He played in Dundee United in Scotland for a long time, which Tom will give strong opinions about the Scottish Premier League, but he was a very good attacking midfielder on a pretty shitty team. And he actually had links to Celtic at one point. That was really cool. And I feel like going back to the U.S. is good for him. He gets to play in New England on a really solid team, and he's he's coming into to take over for Latif Blessing probably. Well, him and Mark Anthony Kaye, like that's a really good like set of midfielders to pick up. Going into the second half of the season.
Yeah,
but
they're about to lose their goalie.
Yeah.
So I knew that was coming, but for what was it? 15 million Chelsea's going to buy?
It is 16 million plus 2
Absolute
million in
nonsense.
So
he's the best in the league.
He's the best in the league.
But Chelsea's just buying like bullshit
but they're
again.
dumb. They'll just buy everyone.
They're just dumb.
It's good business for New England.
So
it's great for New England. It is so stupid, like for Chelsea, but I love it for New England. Except for they're about to lose their goal.
I love it for Chelsea because I want to see their downfall.
I want to just explain to the listeners, if you don't know what's happening, because Sam really just said their goalkeeper is gone. But Georgi Petrovic is most likely.
He gave all the info.
So far, he's still there.
He's currently still in New England, but he's most likely going to be sold to Chelsea. There was a verbal agreement.
He's not on the list yet.
For 17 million. To Chelsea, and apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano, he will be competing with Robert Sanchez for the starting spot at Chelsea. I don't know about that, but
that's crazy.
I mean, I don't feel like that's that crazy.
I mean,
it's crazy that they went from like Edouard Mendy and Kepa to Petrovic and Robert Sanchez, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy.
Their midfield
they've
like
done
$600
in the
million.
past. Like,
yeah, that's true.
They're overpaying for everyone. I don't know. Who knows what they're going to do next?
Things I don't love.
I think Jason's going to go for $35 million to Chelsea. So
I would take it.
No, you're not getting.
You're not taking it, but the city of Chicago is going to get $35 million for you.
Well, they're going to burn that money pretty quick.
Oh yeah.
One thing I love about this move is just the business that the Revolution have done since April of 2022. So I put a tweet out about this, but I feel like I just have to read it out because this is insane. That the Revolution, they roughly acquired Petrovic in April of 2022 for about $1 million.
How much money have they made? Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's where I'm getting to.
Okay.
And they acquired Matt Turner for free via the Super Draft.
Right.
Turner was sold to Arsenal for $6 million. I don't think any of the additional $4 million incentives come into play. So Turner,
they might have gone a sell-on.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know.
It's probably hard to actually figure out, but I feel like a lot of MLS teams kind of do that.
Let's just say Turner was sold to Arsenal for $6 million, and Petrovic was sold to Chelsea for $17 million. So taking away the $1 million they spent on Petrovic back in April of last year, that's a $22 million profit for two goalkeepers in less than 2 full seasons.
And it's actually incredible.
That's fucking awesome.
Great business.
So what's going on the coaching staff in New England that we've just got godly goalkeepers?
Apparently Bruce Arena says bad stuff to players and no one knows why he's not involved in the team anymore.
That tracks.
I mean, I was waiting. I thought you were making a joke about the whole Bruce Arena thing, but
no, I'm just saying though, like, like they probably have some like sick goalkeeping coach.
Something
like the rest of the league wants. Like,
like
the New York Islanders have a really good hockey goalkeeper
too, bro.
Who is the
that's a good point. Chicago, who's your goalkeeping coach? Can we borrow him in DC?
No.
I could use
Gaga and then Chris Brady. I mean, what a duo to go out from.
The goalkeeping coach for the Revolution is Kevin Hitchcock.
Well, Kevin Hitchcock has seen some good keepers, and they had Brad Friedel for a while, who was really good. He probably wasn't there for that.
In New England?
Yeah, Brad. Oh, yeah, he used to play there, right, before he became their coach, right?
No. You're just mixing up goalkeepers now.
Ours is Zach
bald
Thornton.
Fucking goalkeepers. Man.
Oh, you're Zach Thornton. Yeah, okay. MLS legend in his own right. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, still whatever. So
So great, good for them though. New England knows what they're doing.
New England got much better with the additions of Mark Anthony Kaye, Ian Hartz, even losing Petrovic. I think there's.
I mean, he won them some games on his own.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be a loss, Petrovic, 100%. But I think there's opportunities for New England to either roll with like Earl Edwards, who I think is a fine backup in his own right. I'm not saying he's nowhere near Petrovic.
Sturdy.
He's a fine backup, and I think there's also rumors connecting New England to free agent American goalkeeper Josh Cohen, who was just playing with Maccabi Tel Aviv in the Israel top division.
Oh, really? I saw that today.
I mean, Cohen kind of made a name for himself in Champions League group play last year. Like, he did well I think the Israeli Premier League teams are only going to do what they're going to do for the most part. So
if he goes to New England, they'll probably sell him to Chelsea for $20 million.
I mean, he's like 30 years old, so it's fine. but yes,
maybe not. Chelsea will sign him to an 8-year contract.
Exactly.
They've also got a rumor for some Czech goalkeeper too.
Okay.
Oh, I saw that as well.
Thomas Vaklik. He's 34 years old.
Who reported that?
Transfer Markt.
Oh, I saw it on The Athletic also.
Ooh, okay. So there's already replacements in here. So that's most likely probably who we'll see come into New England. But New England definitely, even with the shit going on with Bruce Arena as an actual most likely serious thing. There's I think there's hope for New England to be a good team for the rest of 2023.
And there's hope for the three of us that they might be bad.
Yeah, there is.
There is a chance.
I've already given up on NYCFC. I could talk about them because I think NYCFC made the most physical moves, the most quantity amount of moves in Major League Soccer. But
just happy Maxi's back.
I'm happy he's back, but the team still fucking sucks. I'm gonna go.
At least you have LAFC.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna go.
I mean, look, Jason still got Portland, man.
Really? Yeah, that's where we're going. Okay.
Jeez, no, it's later.
I'm going.
My
Columbus.
team sucks then.
I'm going to go with Columbus Crew overall as a team. The transfer out of Lucas Zelarayan was ugly.
It is ugly.
There was a lot of question marks around it, and there's also a lot of reporting that.
Does anyone know how much it actually was?
Apparently, it was like $7 million to a Saudi Arabian side. It's reported. That's reportedly that some outlets were saying it was over 10, which
that's like half of Petrovic.
Some outfits were saying that it was like 6 or 7 million for a dude who was arguably the league.
Dang, dude, that's literally 1/3 of Jan.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. So yeah, losing Zelarayan, who I would argue could have been an MVP contender, sucks. But you replace him with Diego Rossi, who we've all missed, and we all know what Diego Rossi can do within Major League Soccer. Obviously, a former Golden Boot winner, former Best 11 player. He scored a ton at Fenerbahce, and he won a Turkish Cup there, and. He's coming back to MLS, which I personally love. A big fan of watching him and excited to see him again. But outside of that, you also upgrade at your kind of like right wing back, right midfield position, and you bring in Julian Gressel. Gressel mania is real. He literally is one of the best passers of the ball within Major League Soccer, and that includes a league now of a Lionel Messi, of a Carlos Hill, and players like that. I love Julian Gressel and his ability. I think he's almost unmatched within the league. So you lose Zelarayan, which I think hurts the club a lot, but you bring in Diego Rossi, you bring in Julian Gressel, and I think it's almost an upgrade overall, and that might be a hot take saying that, but I don't know. I think Columbus got a ton better, and I think Columbus could be competing with Cincinnati at the end of the year as best team in the East. Especially with the result we saw yesterday.
They've had one game and they fucking smashed them, right?
Hey, how was it? Was a 3-0 win? So, I mean, look, I like.
It was a 3-0 confident win too.
Yeah, I mean, look, Aiden Morris still doing.
If he's playing like that, they're fine, man. If they have Aiden Morris playing like that,
Columbus is gonna be very good at the end of the year. Cucho is still setting up everyone. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I guess if you want to quickly go around and just say another move, because there is a lot. I don't know if you guys have another one you want to talk about. I can go.
Julian Gressel.
I mean, Julian Gressel. Yeah, I'll give it. I'll also just mention, I guess, Vancouver, if we're going to stick with the Julian Gressel. Obviously, he went to Columbus from Vancouver, but Julian Gressel out there, Vancouver brought in some Canadian fullbacks, some Canadian wingbacks, and Richie Larea and Sam Adekugbe. So like that's pretty cool that Vancouver and Vanni Sartini was like, let me just get the Canadian like men's national team fullbacks and like just throw them on this roster right now. So
with Takaoka behind them, we're fine.
Exactly, with Takaoka, of course.
Missing my praise of him lately.
Jason or Sam, you guys have another one just to mention real quick. If not, it's all good.
Timo Pukki is playing.
I forgot about that one. I talked about
it's been so long, but like, dude, Timo Pukki's playing for Minnesota, which is like that one just makes sense as like a Finnish guy, but like,
hey, him and Bebelo Reynoso gonna be teaming up for a while there.
It's gonna be something.
Yeah, RSL getting Chicho Arango. I mean, that one we kind of knew about a little bit, but he's been an absolute game changer there.
Miami just cooking the books.
The Miami just cooking the books. Yeah, that's.
What are international roster spots?
I'm not getting into
what are rules.
This whole idea of Miami cheating because I personally don't think they did, and maybe
I don't think
Miami's
really
already been caught cheating before. It doesn't matter.
Hey, the thing is, everyone should be able to do shit that they're doing.
Well, and the league's changing all the rules next season anyway. It doesn't matter.
Everyone. As I've learned on this podcast from Sam State School before, technically any MLS team can cheat. You can give players money off the books all you want, and there's no rules against it if it's coming in the form of sponsorships or business deals or whatever. Yeah. So I just think that's all Miami's doing, but that's my take on that.
I mean, that's definitely what they're doing, but it also like
but it's not illegal. So whatever.
Kind of disappeared. Who are their DPs? Tell me who their 3 DPs are. Is Jordi Alba making $2 million a year?
I can tell you their 3 DPs. Hold on.
It's Lionel Messi.
It's Lionel Messi.
Jordi Alba not listed.
Leonardo Campagna and Gregory.
Busquets and Alba are making like a combined $3 million.
They're like max TAM guys, probably, plus making like.
And they're buying all their contracts down.
It doesn't make sense.
$10 million off sponsorships. Like that's probably literally what they're doing. DJ Khaled's got them hooked up with something.
And they probably are like, here, we bought you guys a house in Miami. Like,
just wait till the Fire get Griezmann.
Yeah, that's the next one.
Is that going to be the big move?
He's coming, man.
But let's stick.
Is that actually? Wait, hold up. Is that a rumor, or are you just
not to Chicago? But Griezmann said he wants to play in MLS, and
so did Neymar. And he got fat.
Yeah, but Griezmann said it again recently, and he's coming off an incredible season.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I didn't know if he was actually coming to Chicago. I was like, holy shit.
No.
I was like, wow.
MLS, I could almost guarantee you it wouldn't be in Chicago.
No, he's going.
You think we're trying?
He loves basketball so much. He's going to Miami, or he's going.
He absolutely loves Derrick Rose. So there is a small chance that he comes to Chicago.
Chicago made one move this window. Okay, so let's relax on Chicago out here trying to make moves and whatnot.
Trying, dude. We're not. I just said we're not trying.
Let's stick.
Chicago's better than both of your teams, so I don't want to hear it.
I mean, we have more cups.
So fair for me.
We're just going history.
Yeah, we are. It's the only sport I have where I have history.
Let's stick with Miami. Let's stick with winning cups, and we're gonna go with Leagues Cup kind of coverage right now.
I was just helping with the transition, guys.
That's it. That's all you were doing there, Sam. So I want to say congratulations from all of us to Lionel Messi, Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, Tata Martino, and the rest of the Inter Miami squad. Robert Taylor on winning the 2023 Leagues Cup, which Drake Calendar, exactly. We're not listing the roster off, Jason.
Hey, I'm just giving the people some love.
Give the people what they want.
So this was the first trophy in Miami's history after the PK shootout win over Nashville SC. I mean, I will be the first one to personally say I have talked a lot of shit about the Leagues Cup and this new format and what it is and everything like that. And I absolutely fucking loved this thing. I loved this tournament. I think it went a little too long, I will say. It was just slightly, maybe like a week or two too long. But I think it was fantastic. I don't think I missed many games, if any. Jason, I know you said you felt like you watched every game. So I'm just going to start by saying congratulations to Miami, and I absolutely love this tournament. So I want to hear your guys' takes overall about the tournament too. So Jason, you go for it.
I mean, personally, I was kind of in between at the beginning of the season. Like, I'm interested to see what happens, but not super excited because I don't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
The games being pretty much, especially during the group stage, every single weekday, there was a game was incredible. I would just get home from work and I'd be like, oh, there's a game on tonight. Yeah. There's 3 of them. I just put it on. I absolutely love.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the games were also really good. There was good soccer being played. Yeah. I would agree. I think we were texting, at least Tom and I were midway through, and I was like, this has been really fun, a lot more fun than I thought it would be. But I missed MLS regular season.
Yeah.
And once teams started to get eliminated, I felt that even more because then it was there was less and less games. And there was half the teams. And I was like, all right.
It's like March Madness. It's after that first weekend, you're like, okay.
It kind of is, but if there was also a regular season during March Madness,
right? No, exactly.
Being put on hold. Yeah. So it's I just felt once the Fire especially got eliminated, I was like, well, I'm just watching for entertainment purposes, but I want to go watch the Fire again. I want to go see them play RSL on a Saturday night or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, literally, I get you.
Yeah.
And like I said, we talked about that. We texted about that. I think it's a great idea. The League Cup's overall tournament, I think maybe needs some slight tweaking. But Sam, how did you take in the experience? Your thoughts, all that?
Yeah, the start of the Leagues Cup, I was incredibly busy, and so I missed a lot of the group stage games. But once you went to knockouts, I was like, holy shit, edge of your seat type stuff. If this whole tournament was just a single elimination knockout,
give me knockout. Give me the MLS Cup playoffs.
No extra time, straight PKs is
love it. It is, and it was intense. I really like I said, I was busy, but I didn't really care about the group stage. I was getting emails oh, don't forget DC United's playing Atlas time. I went, I don't know, I don't really care yet because I hadn't been drawn into the Leagues Cup yet. And then then you're watching and you go, oh fuck, this is really good. And just these weird matchups and the intensity. I loved it. It was really exciting. A great ending. We haven't talked about it, but the PK shootout between Nashville and Miami was great.
So I want to get to, I guess, how Miami got their first ever club trophy, and I'm going to just start off this with saying that I don't think this tournament was rigged for Inter Miami. That's all I'm going to say. I don't think there's any cheating going on.
Was it? No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
No,
there's people out there saying,
oh, I didn't know people thought that.
I don't care what people think. I think they're dumbasses.
Yeah, fuck them. Just listen to the podcast.
Man, I haven't talked to Jason in a while. This is great.
So if you think it was rigged, I don't think you watched any of the tournament.
No, they didn't watch anything but the highlights of Miami.
Nashville shouldn't have won. They should have called that game, Club America. And it's did you watch? Yeah. Did you see VAR? It's clear cut as anything. Did they mess up by doing it fucking 10 minutes later? Yeah.
I agree. Yes, I agree fully on that. So let me just paint the picture of how Miami got there, and I'm sure most people listening to this know, but pretty much Miami.
Free kick.
I got overexcited there. I got overexcited. Continue.
Deep breath.
It's really hurting. I'm drinking the Zevia soda thing, and I'm just burping constantly. Miami won their group with 6 points over Cruz Azul and Atlanta United, scoring 6 goals and only allowing 1. Messi scored the game winner versus Cruz Azul. And I don't know about you guys, but so I was in the DR for my best friend's bachelor party, and we're sitting in the casino, and Leagues Cup is starting, and I'm like, of course, in my brain,
DR,
the Dominican Republic.
Oh. Okay.
Is that not a thing that people just?
I just said ADR.
Sorry, no, the DR, the Dominican.
Yeah, okay. I was like, what's ADR?
So I was like, part of me, like my MLS part of me was like, fuck, I'm going to miss the start of Leagues Cup. I'm going to miss Messi's debut, whatever. So we sit down in the casino, giant TV, Leagues Cup on. And I'm like, yes, like just give me this. I'm smoking a cigar while I'm smoking a cigar while I'm watching Messi sub on for Cruz Azul. Against Cruz Azul or whatever. And then he sets up for the P kick. And like my friends aren't big MLS guys, but they're soccer fans. And they were like, just watch Messi bang this free kick for a win. And I was like, you don't want to see what happens if he does this. So he hits the free kick game winner, obviously. And I jump up in my seat and like the amount of just Dominican like staff members that were like clapping and cheering and stuff, like everyone in this room, there was like a solid 25 of us just watching this game. We're just celebrating like Messi just re-won the World Cup or something. Like it was absolutely insane. So that's all I'm gonna remember from the group stage of this competition. But obviously past that, Miami get onto the round of 32 against Orlando City, where Messi had a brace. Miami then beats Dallas in PKs after a 4-4 game where Messi scored two of their four goals.
That was such a good game.
In the quarterfinals, Miami beat Charlotte 4-0, where Messi scored again. In the semifinals, Miami beats Philly 4-1.
No, you were right the first time.
And Messi beats Philly 4-1. Messi scored
again. They had such a bad game. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then Messi and Miami would go on to beat Nashville in the final, where Messi did score Miami's only goal in regulation, to go on to an 11-round PK shootout that would only be decided by the keepers, Drake Callender versus El Panico. And Panico got his shot saved by Callender. Callender scored his against Panico.
Calendar's shot was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Callender, he was so casual, I feel like.
But like he kicked that, like he was trying to get it in the goal on the other side of the stadium. Like he absolutely bombed it.
Well, because you know what they say is if you just hit your PKs as hard as you possibly can, like they're going to be like unsavable. So
yeah, it's really hard to save them.
Callender was just like, I'm hitting this shit. Like that's it.
I love when they
we still almost got a hand on it.
This keeper scores in a PK, and then instead of celebrating, just walks straight into the goal. I love that. Like, if I'm the other guy, I am missing every time.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Just like, dude, I can't. I'm not allowed to score now. Like, it's against the rules.
Yeah.
So Messi finishes his Leagues Cup experience and his first experience in North American soccer with 7 games, 10 goals, and assists. He won the Leagues Cup Golden Boot. He won the Leagues Cup Golden Ball as the best player, and obviously, leaving as Leagues Cup champion as well. So, Sam, I'm going to start with you. Your Messi experience so far, how has it been? And I'll also toss in.
So far, so good.
I'll also toss in Busquets and Albba.
They exist too, I guess. They're world class talents. No, it's been fun so far. I mean, you said 10 goals? So he's what, 14 goals off being Inter Miami's all-time top scorer?
He's literally, I think, third all-time in there.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's one that's really funny to say because it just is. But I don't know. It's so fun to watch, and like you almost just know what's going to happen. And also, look, the Leagues Cup is one thing. He's going to have to deal with MLS now, which is going to be different. And I'm really excited to see how he just demolishes everyone anyway. Like he's not going to care that someone's going to be coming at his ankles. Like he's just going to go around them, and it's going to be fun.
I mean, Miami forever, honestly.
Yeah,
he's just always going around.
Miami's going to turn it all around and finish 12th instead of 13th. It's fine. But it will be the Messi effect.
So I guess is that the question that I'll ask.
They're not making the playoffs.
Okay, so that's the question I was going to ask: is do you think Miami?
I think they're. Well, hold on. Let me relook at the standings. But last time I thought about this, I would have said they were too far. 14 points.
And Miami are
sitting 11 games.
They have 11 games left specifically. Yes.
Dude, I don't know.
It's not unheard of.
This is the thing. Like, I don't.
If it wasn't Messi,
like I'm not willing to say they won't make the playoffs because I don't.
No, I think they do.
It's a scary.
I'll say they don't. They're not winning out.
I
Like,
think
they're not going to win out.
No, I'm not going to say that because winning out would be 33 points, and I would put them at 51, which is where Cincinnati's sitting right now. That's a little like extreme. But what I'm saying is, I could see
He did the math.
Right.
I did the math earlier today. I can see Miami squeaking into like an 8 or a 9 spot and just running the fucking playoffs. Like I could honestly see.
I don't think they're winning MLS Cup. I'll say it.
Okay.
What do you think's going to happen when Messi has to go to like Houston for the first time on a Wednesday?
Well,
Yeah, like major heat.
My guy's going to hate it so much.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. He looks so excited all the time now.
I know, but
dude,
everyone hates going to Houston on a Wednesday. It's just not fun.
I'm not saying Houston specifically, but we will see Messi traveling on the road to FC Cincinnati in the U.S. Open Cup. So he's going to be playing all these.
Poor schmuck has to go to Ohio.
before we get
today for the listeners.
Today. Ooh.
And it is going to be free on CBS or CBS Sports or whatever it is going to be. So you guys can watch that U.S. Open Cup match.
It's going to be on CBS?
Is it not ESPN anymore?
No, Open Cup got CBS and Bleacher Report. Or it's owned by the same company.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah. So it's going to be on CBS Golosso's network or whatever it is now that they launched this year. So that's going to be the free game. The other U.S. Open Cup game is going to be Houston hosting RSL to see who faces off in the Open Cup final. We could potentially see Messi win 2 trophies in MLS in his first season. We could see it, and I would love to see
him win 3.
See Messi win 3.
He could get a very weird treble. Yeah, he could definitely get a very weird treble.
That would be a weird treble.
So I think
they get a Champions League spot.
I was going to say the last thing that I do want to note from the Leagues Cup is that Miami, Nashville, and shout out Philly for beating Monterrey. They all qualify for the 2024 CONCACAF Champions Cup. The only other MLS side to qualify so far is the Vancouver Whitecaps, who won the Canadian Championship. So
that will be next year. Okay.
Yes, given some context.
All right, so Messi will still be there for that. That's good.
Oh yeah, Messi's playing in Champions Cup for sure.
Well, there was a while where like you would qualify and it'd be like, and in 2 years you get this qualification spot.
Yes.
So I kind of forgot that it was like, no, now it's next year.
You're right.
Do you think Messi will? Where do you think Messi will finish goals plus assists?
Ooh. Like in MLS play, you're saying?
Yeah. I was trying to do the research, but we were talking.
11 games.
11 games. Mukhtar's on 13, but I don't know how many assists he has.
You know, Messi has like the 3rd best odds to win the MLS Golden Boot in 11 games.
There's just no.
Surprise me.
I was going to ask that first, but I was like, in 11 games, is he going to outscore Hani Mukhtar, who had a 13-goal advantage?
Well, it depends on who's Miami playing. Like, what's their schedule?
Yeah, no, it's all fair questions. Jason,
are they playing TFC a lot?
To answer your question, Jason, say 11.
They are not.
I'm trying to find. We can keep going, but I'm gonna try and find if there's a way to look at goals plus assists.
Save that for the end. We'll finish up with that. Let's talk about the last thing that I feel like was major and we should talk about. And it's the U.S. Women's National Team, and it's the 2023 World Cup. So the 2023 World Cup came to an end on Sunday when Spain defeated England 1-0. Congratulations to Spain. Shout out Olga Carmona on being the difference maker, goal scorer, and the whole kind of sad but insanely wild story behind her for what happened to her with the end of kind of the World Cup and everything like that. But in terms of U.S. soccer, I mean, I'm not the probably best person to speak on this. So, Jason, I'm going to turn it to you in a little bit. But I'm going to say that this World Cup was pretty much a failure for the USWNT and Vlatko Andonovski and everything like that. And at the end of the day, Vlatko, the former manager now of the U.S. Women's National Team, has left his role, and so has GM Kate Markgraf, leaving her role within the women's side of the soccer game within U.S. soccer as well. You know, the U.S. Women's National Team finished second in their group. In the round of 16, they lose on PKs to Sweden, and it was a 1-win, 2-draw, 1-loss tournament where we only allowed 1 goal, and that's great, but we only scored 4. And so, Jason, I want to turn this to you since I think you have the most knowledge on this of anyone that I could speak to right now. And what's next? What are your thoughts on the World Cup? Is this, completely on the players? Is it on Vlaco? I mean, you got to give it to me all here.
Yeah, I mean, I am somewhere in the middle. Like, I think personally for me, during the World Cup, I was disappointed in some of the lineups. I think before the World Cup, I was disappointed in some of the players chosen to not, single people out. But I don't think Vlatko tactically was, the guy for the job. And I think we saw that. I think some lack of subs wasn't the best. I think not seeing Ashley Sanchez, for instance, at all, and then she comes to the NWSL and scores within 40 seconds of getting onto the field is a bad look, Yep. But, I mean, Sophia Smith scores within a minute of her first game action since the World Cup. But, I mean, to me, I'm not as, doom and gloom as I feel like a lot of people might be, because based on how the players are playing, they're still incredible. We still we're the better team in all of these games. Outside of maybe the first half of the Netherlands game, where I honestly thought this guy might be falling, I feel like the Sweden game was probably our best game of the tournament, potentially. And it just came down to a penalty shootout where we lost by a millimeter.
Literally, oh my God.
There's issues in the federation, though, to be completely clear. The fact that we haven't won or really even gone far in either of the Youth World Cups. So, the U18s have not even made it out of the group the last 2 World Cups. And the U20s also have only gotten to, the first round of the knockout stage. That is all pretty bad, but there's not, one singular thing that I think went wrong. Because I feel like if we have Mallory Swanson, if we have Katerina Macario, those are 2 of our probably – I mean, Swanson was arguably – I don't even want to say arguably. I think she was easily the best player for the team going into this World Cup. She had the best past year for the U.S. women. And not having her hurts. And Macario also one of the more creative players, one of the better forwards and attacking players in the team. That hurts. Roosevelt coming in hurt is she doesn't get full 90s right away, and that's tough. I think going with Ertz at center back wouldn't have been my first choice, especially since they kind of never tried that leading up to the World Cup. So it's Alana Cook and Naomi Girma. I think there's just a lot of weird changes and tactical moments in the World Cup that kind of were blown out of proportion, but also we're still pretty bad. But I mean, in the end, I've gone on for probably way too long, but in the end, it's going to be fine. The rest of the world caught up. That's a good thing. That just pushes everything even further. Do we still have an incredible pipeline of talent? Yeah. Do we still have just an incredible group of players? Could there have been 23 players that won this World Cup for the U.S.? Easily. But in the end, that didn't happen. It's not going to happen every time. There's a reason it's hard to win a World Cup. I think Spain had a phenomenal tournament. But at the same time, Sweden took them right to the end, and we almost beat Sweden. And they were and then Spain won. So, there's a lot that could have changed, and it's just part of the sport is you don't always win, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
I mean, you guys go. I've said so many words.
No. I asked you, and I wanted your opinion because I know you were going to give me the best one here on it, and I agree with you. I think it's hard to win a World Cup. It's hard to win 3 in a row. That's also another point to toss in.
Never happened before for a good reason.
Plus injuries. Plus, yes, I think at the end of the day, right? Tactically, I don't know if Vlaco made the best decisions or whatnot. But he's gone, and we need a change in regime, and I think this is what happens.
I mean, it's not like the U.S. were the only teams to have a poor World Cup. Germany didn't make the knockout round. It's just part of women's soccer now, where
part of competition.
Yeah, there's a lot of very good teams. Like we saw how many, like 4 teams, I think it was, Morocco, Colombia, Jamaica, and forgetting, maybe Nigeria, all make their first knockout rounds. Like, that's awesome. That's good to see. And as much as like the U.S. having a bad World Cup for them kind of hurts us as U.S. fans, it's a good thing for the sport overall. And I think slowly that take should kind of take over the whole hive mind of the U.S. is just horrible, and we're all gonna die.
It's just salty right now in the wound, right? Because it's still a fresh loss and whatnot. But we will definitely dive into more U.S. Women's National Team as we find out new directions with a new general manager, new coach, and then obviously this young talented crop heading into the Olympics next summer. Sam, I want to finish off things with you really quickly with just the news we learned yesterday of Gio Savarese. The Timbers are moving on from Gio Savarese. He is no longer the head coach of the squad. He did win the MLS Back tournament back in 2020 with the Timbers. He did make 2 MLS Cup final appearances, losing to Atlanta United and this team right back here. He had 216 games in charge with 93 wins. Not a bad little record there. He becomes the 5th manager fired in 2023. I mean, Sam, I want to hear your takes on Gio's time in Portland and kind of maybe where Portland's at right now, too.
Yeah. Look, it makes sense based on some of the numbers you see coming out of Portland. I mean, they only average they average 1.1 goals per game. So I was pulling up stats earlier and just was kind of shocked about all this, which is 21st best in the league. They allow 1.6 goals a game. That's the 25th best in the league. Like, 28th in possession. Like, they're just they are not very good this year. Like, and they've got 26 goals in 26 games and 26 points. Like, they're third to last in the West Coast.
Yeah.
They've been struggling this year, and that stinks to see because Portland's always so consistently good, and the last couple of years have really been a decline for them. But Gio has also, like you said, taken them to MLS Cup finals. He's won the MLS's Back tournament. He was a very good coach in Portland, in my opinion, as someone who doesn't watch a lot of Portland unless they play Seattle. I mean, he replaced Caleb Porter, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so the last 2 managers coming out of Portland have been there for a crap ton of time and are beloved by the city. And, I mean, I guess I can't say so much about Gio because I don't know that, but pretty sure Caleb Porter is beloved by Portland for a long time. So
I would say Savarese is I think once the dust settles with how bad the season is, I think he's going to be a fan favorite.
Yeah. Didn't he win in his first year or was it his second year?
2019, he made the MLS Cup final against Atlanta, which was his first year. And in 2020, he won, I guess, a tournament technically.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, based on all the numbers you've seen the past few years, it makes sense. The team's declining. They're performing terribly. And you get it from like a sporting side of things, but the man's done great things for Portland, and like that's just got to be commended.
They've had some big injuries, though. Like, I feel like...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm sort of on it kind of makes sense that he's gone, but
I think it's the overall decline. It's not like this year. It's
but they signed the biggest signing in franchise history with Evander. Yeah. And he's barely played. And that's not going to help.
That's true.
I think it's unfair to put the entire blame on Savarese. I think.
Oh, you can't, but that's how sports works. You blame the head coach for stupid reasons because you can't fire the damn players.
The GM and the front office is also a mess in Portland right now, and there's a lot going on there. So do your searching. I'm not going to dive too much deep into that. So search on Twitter or Google or whatever you want.
That guy's a winner.
It's weird. I said this in a text message to you guys yesterday. It's just like very rarely is there like a coach that's fired in Major League Soccer, and I'm like, like that one's like weird, or that one stings, or whatever. Gio Savarese being fired from the Timbers was weird to me, and I just had to look it up because have to know, and I want to tell the listeners and you guys, Musah is the longest tenured Portland Timbers manager in their history. Like, we're talking.
Wow. I would not have predicted that.
He was in charge for 2,072 days. He's the most matches managed in their history as well. Beating out Caleb Porter, who was the previous holder for most matches and most days in charge. So Gio Savarese is without a doubt a legend in the Portland soccer universe, and he should get another spot somewhere else. Hopefully.
I don't see how he doesn't.
No, he's
got to.
If he doesn't, then all the other teams, except for like maybe a handful, are making a mistake.
Hey,
I'll hire you, Gio.
There's an opening in Chicago right now, Jason.
Hey, I said on those text messages, I said there's very few coaches who've reached his peak, and I would totally take him in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to finish off the episode with Jason hoping Gio comes to Chicago.
I have the info, though.
Yes, please. Yes, hit me.
Circle back. So based on Fatma, by the way, if you go to their stats, does goals plus assists, which is incredible.
Ooh,
they just do it.
Love that.
Which a lot of these numbers are higher than I kind of thought in my mind. So I was going to say, where do you guys think Messi would finish with goals plus assists? Obviously, he only has 11 games. For context, Mukhtar is at 20 currently. He's the first. Acosta is at 18 with Almada, also at 18.
Fatma doesn't put into account MLS assists, by the way. I'm just letting you know that.
I don't think MLS counts MLS assists anymore either.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes,
do they really? Oh, God. I thought they stopped doing that. I thought we were a real league.
On the MLS.
Well, we're talking about Fatma version then.
Fatma. That's fine. I need the context.
Anyway, so Espinoza at 17, Zelarayan at 16, and then that Gazdag.
On the bright side, that 16 will be a flat number. Currently,
Carlos Hill is in 9th at 13. So there's your sort of baseline. 20 is Mukhtar, Hill at 9.
So in 11 games, I'd put him at 16.
Oh, wow. That would be tied for 5th with Zelarayan right now.
The dude had 11 goals in 7 games.
Wait, how many? He had 10
he had 11. He had 10 goals and 1 assist in 7 games. So I'm going 16.
God damn. That's yeah, that's pretty good.
You think he's going to have that same output?
Yeah.
For the next 11 games?
Messi doesn't give a fuck.
See, what's interesting in my head, I was like, I could probably see him getting to 15. So I don't know why I'm like shooting you for 16.
I added one more. You were like, holy shit.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that.
Right.
In my head, I was like, 15 seems logical.
1 second. I'm counting how many home games he has left. 5.
I'm super distracted by the XG plus XA numbers on Fatma because
Bobby Wood is great, right?
Bobby Wood is outperforming his numbers by double.
Okay.
Wait, what did he listed at?
Bobby Wood has 12 goals and assists, and his XG and XA is 5.5.
That is kind of insane.
That's insane.
And Loven for St. Louis is at 7.4, and he's got 12.
I told you guys that I'm gonna push this for an hour, and we're 7 minutes over an hour. So sorry to cut off the FOTMob excitement, boys, but I'm gonna wrap this one up here. It has been a you guys can unmute yourself. I just muted you so I could step.
I didn't even know you muted me because it was on a different tab.
I didn't know I could unmute myself. That's fun.
I just want to say it's been a pleasure to hop back on the mics with you guys, and it's a pleasure to everyone listening that you decided to give this episode a shot and definitely hear the rambling that was definitely going to happen on this episode. So I'm glad it did. But Jason, Sam, thank you boys for recording with me. This has been episode 265 of the MLS Aces Podcast.